Good evening and welcome. I am Amarachi Ubani. Tonight, Nigerian military pledges continuous support for President Muhammadu Buhari's administration as it continues to steer the ship of government. Dust finally settles as Senate confirms nomination of Justice Walter Onnoghen as the Chief Justice of Nigeria. Federal High Court in Abuja dismisses 6 out of 7 count charge preferred against a self-acclaimed leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, and 3 others. And double suicide attacks kill at least 16 people, injure several others in Kabul, the Afghan capital.
And on business news tonight, Nigeria's Debt Management Office set to launch its first savings bond on March the 13th.
On sports news tonight, Super Eagles coach Gernot Rohr invites 25 players for the upcoming friendlies against Burkina Faso and Senegal.
And from Abuja, Federal Executive Council approves 701 billion naira payment assurance for power generating companies towards evacuation of power to distribution companies in the country.
Tonight we begin with the Senate confirming the nomination of Justice Walter Onnoghen as the Chief Justice of Nigeria. The confirmation came after the Senate screened him for over an hour, during which the federal lawmakers questioned Justice Onnoghen on issues of the independence of the judiciary, judicial reforms, corruption in the judiciary, as well as disobedience of court orders. The process ended with the Senate President Bukola Saraki reaffirming the readiness of the legislature to work with the judiciary in the interests of Nigeria.
Justice Walter Onnoghen takes the last few steps from the National Assembly foyer into the Senate chamber.
I'm the Deputy Chairman of the Agri Committee.
He is here for the highly anticipated screening exercise for the position of a Chief Justice of Nigeria. His nomination was a talking point in the country, as many feared this day may not come because of a delay by President Buhari to send his name to the Senate for confirmation as stipulated in the Constitution. The screening exercise begins.
There's been this argument whether there should be separate courts for corruption-related matters. And it appears that the judiciary has been reluctant in supporting that move. As the head of judiciary, what do you think should be the way forward?
If the government wants to establish any court and how many courts, the judiciary wouldn't say no. But I believe if we can put our acts together and do the right thing, carry out proper investigation before charging a man to court. And when you get there, be ready to prosecute your case because the judges are always there. But there will be adjournments, most often not at the instance of the court.
These lawmakers appear to have special interest in the screening exercise, as some of them either have pending court cases or have experienced rigorous judicial processes to retain their seats.
How can you assure Nigerians that should your confirmation be confirmed, the independence of the judiciary under your watch will not be compromised?
I assure you that the independence of the judiciary will be continue. The independence of the judiciary will continue, and that under my watch it will be reinforced. That one is there's no compromise on that.
On the issue of disobedience to court orders, Justice Onnoghen maintained that the solution should be left to the Executive and the National Assembly to handle.
The nomination of Honorable Justice Walter Onnoghen is hereby confirmed as Chief Justice of Nigeria.
Linda Akibi, Channels Television News.
A federal high court in Abuja has dismissed 6 of the 11 counts charges preferred against the self-acclaimed leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mr. Nnamdi Kanu, and 3 others. Justice Binta Nyako dismissed the charges for lack of proof of evidence. Our correspondent Amaka Okafo reports.
This is not an unusual sin at the Federal High Court whenever the trial of the self-styled leader of the indigenous people of Biafra and 3 others come up. At the proceedings, Justice Binta Nyako delivered a ruling on an application seeking to quash the charges against Mr. Nnamdi Kanu and 3 others. In one of the counts dismissed, Justice Nyako said claims by the prosecution that the defendants were researching how to make improvised explosive devices cannot hold water because there is no proof that they were doing it. On another count concerning allegations of belonging to an illegal organization, Justice Nyako also ruled that nothing was placed before the court to indicate that it is an illegal organization. On the charge of importing radio transmission equipment, Justice Nyako says the prosecution did not furnish the court with any proof to suggest that the importation was illegal. She, however, retained 5 other counts of treasonable felony, terrorism, and possession of arms. Following her ruling, the defendants were rearraigned on the remaining 5 charges for which they entered a not guilty plea.
11-count charge preferred against the 1st to 4th defendants. And this morning the court delivered ruling on it, and the court struck out count 3, 5, 7, 9, 10, and 11.
6 counts.
Yeah, 6 counts out of 11-count charge. So 5 still stands now. So, and in view of by virtue of section 217 of the CJN, the defendants were asked to take fresh plea to the counts or third charge. That has been done. And it also presupposes, by virtue of that section of the law, that the entire proceedings will start afresh. And you have heard me when I made a presentation before the court that being the ruling delivered on the application for secret trial should also be revisited.
And as they left the court premises, their supporters enthusiastically showed solidarity. Amaka Okafor, Channels Television News.
Meanwhile, former Ministers of Aviation and Finance Fani-Kayode and Nnamdi Usman have formally challenged their trial before a federal high court sitting in Lagos. They want their case file to be sent to the chief judge for reassignment to another judge, preferably one in the Abuja division of the court. The 2 former ministers, the former national chairman of the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, Mr. Yusuf Danjuma, and the companies said to belong to him, are all facing a 17-count charge of laundering about 4.9 billion naira, charges to which they have pleaded not guilty. To crime now. The police in Kaduna State say that normalcy is gradually returning to the southern part of the state following massive deployment of troops to the area. The State Police Command has also refuted reports of an attack by gunmen in Rafin Dadi community of Kanikong Chiefdom in Jema local government area, said to have occurred on Monday, February 27th. Meanwhile, the acting president has restated the federal government's commitment to the security of lives and property in the country despite the current challenges. Acting President Yemi Osinbajo was briefing State House correspondents after receiving security reports from the Defense Minister and the service chiefs on the security situation in the country. Our correspondent Chukwuma Onekwusi has more.
The Minister of Defense leads other service chiefs, the National Security Advisor and security directors as they converge on the Situation Room with the Minister of Information and other media aides for the security meeting. Moments later, the acting president joins the full hall. Uppermost in the mind of the defense minister is continuous loyalty to the administration, conquest against Boko Haram in the northeast, containing the clash between farmers and herdsmen in southern Kaduna, and the activities of cattle rustlers and armed bandits in the northwest.
On behalf of the armed forces and other security agencies, we pledge our total commitment and loyalty to the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Your Excellency, sir, you are pleased informed that the ongoing operation in the Northeast Theater have recorded tremendous success and have led to restoration of normalcy in most parts of the affected areas.
For about 4 hours behind closed doors, the security chiefs rubbed minds with the vice president on the issues raised. Issues the vice president coming out from the meeting says are routine discussions which he will pass on to the president.
This is routine, and the president is the one who put in place this whole idea of regular briefings, regular security briefings, Security Council meetings regularly and all that. So this is just routine. In fact, it's even more important that we do so because of some of the issues that are arising here and there. There have been cases of kidnapping and all that. I wanted the IG to inform us fully, Besides, as you know, the president is a process person. I'm certainly going to be speaking to him this evening about the developments here. So really, I don't think it's an indication of anything. It really more is an indication of the fact that we are committed to ensuring the security of the nation and its people as well as possible.
The federal government says it is satisfied with what the military is doing so far, promising to continue to maintain vigilance to ensure the protection of lives and property across the country. Chukwuma Onnoghen, Channels Television News.
Relative peace may have returned to the northeast, but troops fighting the insurgents in the area say they're not resting on their oars in their bid to clear the region of terrorists. This was confirmed by the theatre commander of Operation Fani-Kayode, Major General Lucky Rabo, at the weekly briefing of Army operations in the northeast, adding hundreds of children have also been rescued from the clutches of the insurgents. Our correspondent, Onnoghen, reports.
This brief will touch on some of the operations and other related issues that we have carried out since our last meeting.
Each progress report of the Operation Fani-Kayode activities in Borno State is always an opportunity for the military to intimate the public on their activities. And the theatre commander of the entire counter-insurgency team, Major General Lucky Rabo, is happy with the developments. Although, as he sadly notes, the military also recorded losses in personnel and weaponry.
On the 9th of February, at about 19:30 hours, own convoy troops, which of course was widely reported, conveying some of our newly inducted recruits that were going to marry up with our troops in Dikwa. Of course, they were ambushed at Ajiri along Mafa-Dikwa Road. Look at this beautiful young, stand up. Beautiful, innocent girls.
These young girls on parade are whom the theatre commander describes as victims of circumstance because they were recruited by the Boko Haram sect as suicide bombers. For those who are repentant, Major General Rabo says there's a path of pardon.
I believe that such people, when given good opportunity in life and they also understand what the issues are, they could even do very well to uplift in a greater part of the society.
So I want to still take back to the Amnesty International issue.
The major high point of the briefing is the reaction of the theatre commander to reports credited to Amnesty International, claiming that the military operations are fraught with irregularities, especially with regards to its detention center.
If you believe that because you made a report 2 years back, 3 years ago, and that report has not been worked upon, and so you now want to use it because we have gained traction, because we're making a headway, you now think that this is the only way to distract us for us to. That's the point I'm making. And I think that that's precisely what they are doing.
The theatre commander ends the briefing with a call to Nigerians to support the military's quest to end insurgency by promptly reporting any suspicious character. A move that, if heeded, will go a long way towards breaking the grip of the Boko Haram sect and bringing peace to the northeast. Onnoghen, Channels Television News.
In part two, after the break, House of Representatives plans investigation of series of alleged breaches of Public Procurement Act at the Federal Ministry of Finance. Do join us again.